acknowledges that it is located on the First Peoples traditional lands. We recognize this traditional territory to show respect and understanding to those who walk this land since time immemorial. Today, we uphold our ongoing responsibility to work together in the spirit of the intent of the treaties with all the First Peoples and nations that call this place home. The town expresses gratitude for the opportunity to build a better community on these sacred lands for generations to come. And with that, we will call this special council meeting for May 13th, 2025 to order. First item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Council? Councillor Race.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move that we adopt the agenda for May 13th, 2025.
Thank you, Councillor Race. Council, the motion on the floor is that council adopt the agenda as presented. And just a note to council, we will be voting by hand for the special council meeting today. So council, the motion on the floor is that council adopt the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Seeing nothing, we'll call the question. All those in favor? And that motion is carried unanimously. That will take us to section 3 of the agenda this evening and item 3.1, tax rate bylaw number 2021, third reading. We'll go Director McLaughlin. Anything to add?
No, we'll refer this one to Ms. Bourbeau.
Ah, yes. Ms. Bourbeau, anything to add?
No, nothing, Your Worship.
Thank you, Ms. Bourbeau. Council? Councillor Hawes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I might like to move that council gives third reading to tax rate bylaw number 2021. And I have nothing to speak to it, but I do have a quick question.
Go right ahead.
So I just want to clarify with administration, because officially we had a committee of the whole that identified 3 areas that we want to invest in with the surplus. And then we made a motion to accept for information the reserves the last regular meeting. So I just want reassurance that by doing this, that surplus we know is still going to those 3 places we discussed, which was the recreation reserve, asset management, and tax rate or surplus or whatever it's called. Is that the case?
Ms. Bourbeau?
Thank you for the question and through to all of council. I'd like to just clarify that it's not necessarily a surplus.
Okay.
It is additional monies being raised that is going to reserve, and the budgeted amounts that were put into the 2025 adjusted budget have gone to the 3 designated areas that came out of committee of the whole, but that doesn't tie forever. The entire reserve process is coming back to council and future committee meetings for further discussion on a reserve policy. And at that time, council will have the ability to make any adjustments to the allocations of the reserves as they're standing.
Okay. And appreciate the wording. Yeah, I apologize. It's not a surplus. So excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hawes. Council, the motion on the floor is that council gives third reading to tax rate bylaw number 2021. Is there any discussion? Seeing nothing, we'll call the question. All those in favor? And all those opposed? And that motion is passed with Councillor Taylor voting against. Council, is there anything further for item 3.1 on the agenda this evening? Seeing nothing, Councillor Taylor.
I'd just like to clarify that extra money that we're talking about. That is additional money that we didn't know that we had when we did the budget on December 11th, correct?
Ms. Bourbeau?
That we didn't know about.
It is additional funds that have been generated because our assessments have increased, but it is, if we would have known about it in the fall, if the same process would have happened, council would have had the opportunity to direct those funds to reserves.
Thank you, Ms. Bourbeau. Councillor Race.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to be clear on this. At standing, there was a discussion on taking that money and putting it into 3 different areas. That's not carved in stone yet.
Ms. Bourbeau?
Through to all of council. So the budget to be passed must be a balanced budget. So there is no line on the budget for any unallocated funds. So for now, the funds have been allocated as consensus was reached in committee of the whole. But it will be completely at council's discretion to make any changes to the fund balances and the allocations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Ace. Councillor Ostashik?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to further clarify on that point, if I may, in the absence of any additional direction from council, it is going to stay dispersed and split in the way that was directed by council at standing. Is that correct?
Ms. Bourbeau?
Through to all of council, that is absolutely correct. It was identified that way on those three individual budget lines and will remain until if and when further direction is given.
Thank you. If I could speak
Go
to
right
it
ahead.
quickly. I appreciate that very much. So because that split and that direction formed part of the justification for me to be able to support the tax rate bylaw that we're putting forward. If that wouldn't have been split and allocated in that way, I likely wouldn't have supported the tax rate bylaw that was put before us and was moved to accept. So I just want to clarify that, my thought and opinion on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Ostashik. Council, is there anything further for item 3.1 on the agenda this evening? Seeing nothing, we'll move to section 4 of the, Councillor Ostashik.
Thank you. Sorry, I hit my button a little bit too quick. I
That's
was just
okay. You
gonna-
can do 4.1 if you'd like.
That's what I was going to do. If I could move to adjourn, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Stashik. Council, the motion on the floor is a movement to adjourn the special council meeting at 4:10 PM. All those in favor? Councillor Taylor, were you in favor to adjourn? Thank you, and that is unanimous. Thank you very much. We are adjourned. And for those of you in the audience, we're moving into the committee room for a committee of the whole. Thank you very much for attending.